everyone, this is Erin Gates with Lizzie Knits and Three Birds Yarn Studio, and I'm going to show you how to finish up the thumb section for my wintergreen mittens. So if you are following along with the pattern, I have my pattern printed right here. I'm gonna walk you through it, and hopefully this, if you needed better help visualizing the process, we can break it down and I'll show you what some of these steps, just clarify a few things. And one thing about this thumb technique, and this is the gusset thumb, is we're going to be picking up 2 stitches, and it's going to be in the corners of the thumb, and then we're going to knit them together with one of your live stitches, one on each side. That way it's going to eliminate any gaps that form when you pick up the stitches. And here, I'll show you the part I'm talking about. This is a mitten I already finished. So sometimes, and if you're familiar with knitting gusset thumb, sometimes when you pick up the live stitches, you get little holes here, like on each side. So we're just going to do one extra step, and you can see I picked up a stitch just to kind of like tighten the stitches up, and there won't be any gaps. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna follow along here and break it down. Thumb round 1. Okay. First step, place the 8 stitches from the placeholder back onto 2 DPNs. Okay, so let's get DPN number 1. And I'm going to take out my stitch holder and put these stitches back on DPNs, and it says 4 stitches on each. Also, side note, I put a lifeline in my thumb stitches. Please disregard this lifeline. I only did this in case I have to restart this video and I'll know where to pick my stitches up again. And I'm glad I did, because this is actually like my 3rd take. So hopefully this is the winner. All right. So yeah, don't worry about the lifeline. 4 stitches on each of the double pointed needles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 on that one. And then let's go to the other side. I'll just flip it and put the remaining 4 on another needle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we can take this placeholder and we are done with this. Or if you use a spare piece of yarn, you can remove the yarn. Either way works. Okay, so this is 4 stitches on each needle. Now, next step, with a 3rd DPN, grab a 3rd one. You're going to pick up and knit the 2 stitches that you casted on earlier at the base of the thumb. Make sure you are picking these stitches up from the outside and not the inside. Okay, so let's see here. Here's the base of my thumb. Here's the section where we have these 2 stitches hanging out. We casted these on earlier before finishing up the hand. All right, let's bring this a little closer. I'll try to show you as best I can here. You'll see 2 knit columns. That's one here, one here. Not these, that continues down the hand, and not that one. So what we want to pick up are these 2 stitches right here. 1, 2, and we want to grab both legs of this stitch. So this is what you're putting your needle through, right? Both legs, kind of where they meet at the base of the stitch into like the little point of the V. That would be here and here. And what I mean by don't pick them up from the inside, we want it to be oriented this way, not picking them up from the inside circumference of this thumb here, because then you'd be knitting inside out. So with your hand kind of like the tip of the finger part facing you, let's pick up the first one. Okay, this one is the first one. Okay, so I insert the DPN, get my yarn. We're going to join the project yarn again and leave a little tail, because you're going to want to weave that in on the inside when you're done. Loop it. Let's pick up that stitch, and you can go slow on this because it might be a little tight when you pick up these stitches. Okay, there's 1 stitch. Let's get that tail out of the way. We don't want that. Let's pick up the 2nd stitch. So then same process. Put the DPN under both legs of that stitch, wrap the yarn, and you're going to kind of have to like lift these stitches over so your needle grabs that new yarn. All right, Like I said, it's a little tight picking these up, but that's the only time it'll be like this. Now we have stitches as normal, so knitting the thumb is gonna be a lot easier now. All right, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, this tail, just so it's not bothering me, I usually tuck it on the inside, hide it, put it away. That's okay. Tail's in there, less strands of yarn to worry about. All right, here's what we got right now. It said, now, next point, stitch count is now 2, 4, 4 on needles 1, 2, and 3. Needles 1, 2, 3. Here's the stitch count. 2, 4, 4. You will now work the remaining stitches for the round. All right, the 8 stitches that you put back that were on your placeholder previously. So we're mid round 1. These two, picking up these stitches was part of round 1. Now let's do the remainder, and we're going to work with needles 2 and 3. All right, you will be picking up 2 more stitches and knitting them together with the first stitch and the 8th stitch. So that would be, this is, if we're continuing clockwise here, here's the first stitch, here's the 8th stitch. And as I mentioned earlier, we're now going to be picking up little stitches before this first one and after the 8th one, and we'll be knitting them together with these 2 stitches to close those gaps that might form at the base of the thumb. This will eliminate gaps that form at the base of the thumb. Continue as follows. All right, needle 2. Oh, sorry, my lifeline is a little, get that out of the way. Needle 2. With needle 2, pick up the left leg of a completed stitch on your right. All right, so let's look at this little scrap yarn. Let's look at this column of knit stitches from the hand part. Bring that closer. Okay, we're going to pick up, and you can see, this little needle is a point, you can see there's 2 legs to each one of these stitches. We're going to pick up the left leg only of one of these. And it says, pick up with the left needle from the back. Okay, and I said there will be a few to choose from. Pick the one that's in the center. So between where needle 1 ended and where the stitches for needle 2 start, you can see there's like 3 kind of legs of stitch. We're going to go with the one in the center. Okay, just how about that one right there? It really doesn't matter. We're just grabbing a stitch to bring it over. We're going to twist it and make it tight so there won't be a hole right here. Okay, actually I don't need this. I was saying to bring it from the back onto the left needle. So grab that stitch from the back. I'm picking the one that's in the middle and put it on the left needle, just like that. All right, you now have 5 stitches on your needle. 1, 2, 3, 5 stitches. And the stitch that you picked up is twisted. It is, see? That's a picked up stitch, but it's oriented the wrong, or the twisted way. So now, for the rest of needle 2, knit 2 together and then knit 3. So now when I knit these 2 together with the picked up stitch, that one that you picked up will be twisted. That's why we picked it up from the back. So let's continue in the round here. We'll knit 2 together and then knit 3. Make sure my yarn's kind of tight enough when you're moving from DPN to DPN. And then, okay, knit 3. So now I have 4 stitches. Let's see what that looks like. Here is now the join. We kind of grabbed one of the legs from that knit column, brought it onto the thumb, and now you'll have a nice tight little closure where the thumb at the base of the thumb. All right, that was needle 2. Last one, needle 3. Let's rotate this a little bit. Last needle, and then we are done with this initial thumb round. Then it's much easier from here on out. The setup is just a little tricky with those picked up stitches. All right, needle 3. Knit 3. All right, let's just knit those first 3. And see, I'm using my 4th DPN. 1, 2, 3. And then knit, and then slip 1 stitch knitwise. Okay, so the next stitch, we'll slip it onto the right needle knitwise though. See, now it's twisted. Okay, with your 4th DPN, which is now open, with your 4th DPN, pick up the right leg of a completed stitch on your left. Similar process to the other side of the thumb. So we're going to bring this up a little bit and show you again. Same thing. We're going to find that column of knit stitches from the hand, but this time it's on the left, and we'll be picking up the right leg because we want to bring that into the base of the thumb. All right, and similar to last time, say there should be just one stitch to pick from, and that will be this one in the center. And bring this stitch onto the left needle from the front. Here's my left needle. There's nothing on it right now. We'll just bring it onto the stitch from the front. Place the slipped stitch back onto the left needle. So this one here, we slipped it and we twisted it, but now just slip it back onto the left needle. See, now it's oriented differently. We like to twist these stitches because it makes them tighter. And now we want to knit those two together through the back loop in your project, and that's the final stitch for the thumb. Knit that through the back loop. They're twisted, and now we're closing the gap in the front. Okay, what's the next step? What did I write here? I'm trying to move along as I go. The original stitch count is restored across all 3 needles. It is. We have 2, 4, 4, and this is needle 1, needle 2, needle 3. So now we will start round 2 of the thumb. Rounds 2 to 10. So starting round 2, now you're just going to straight knit around all these DPNs. So this should be pretty self-explanatory. You have these nice, I'll give you one round here. So this is the second round. We're knitting, pick up. Oh, actually, I'm glad I did this. So that first needle, you have the tail here. Those stitches might be kind of loose. You can pull them a little bit because that's where you joined your yarn. So when you're done with the thumb, if these two seem like very wide stitches, give them a tug, pull. I have the tail inside the mittens here, but you'll be able to tighten those up and make them uniform with the rest of the stitches. And you can then you'll weave that tail in at the end. Okay, so I'll just finish this round, and it's just straight knit stitches. Those 2 picked up stitches are already taken care of, and it'll be 10 stitches per round, and you'll do that 8 times. All right, and there we go. Let's see here. I'll keep knitting along, but that's the start of the thumb. I guess I don't need my placeholder anymore. I think this was a successful one. But I will, like I said, those 2 picked up stitches right here, we'll tighten those up when I weave in the end. All right, you can continue with the thumb. You'll have, and it'll look like this when you're done. See? No gaps, all good. All right, well, enjoy your mittens. Thank you for watching the tutorial. Okay, bye.